Stage 6 at the Area 1 Championships. This was our second stage. It was an absolute memory stage. It took us, with a group of people, for everybody to be happy with their plan, probably 20 minutes, half hour to figure this out. I don't particularly care for memory stages, but having said that, there are some that are doable and there are some that shouldn't be in a major. If you only had 5 minutes to look at the stage because you didn't come out the night before or have some intel on how to shoot it, there is no way you could have got what you needed with 15 people or 12 people walking the stage with you in 5 minutes. So it's kind of an unfair test. That's my thought. I'm off the soapbox. Let's talk about shooting. Start position was awkward. Toes on marks. And for myself and everybody, that first shot was around that wall really tight. It didn't matter what plan I think you had in this stage, as long as you had a plan and you executed it, and every shot or every target had 2 holes and 2 holes only. That would be a winning stage plan here. But here you go.
Are you ready? Stand by.
All right, let's talk about some footwork and gun handling. I liked my stage plan. It was different than other people's, but again, as long as everything had 2 holes and no more than 2 holes, it was a pretty good stage plan.
Are you ready? Stand by.
First target is a heck of a lean here. So I post up here, try to keep some weight off this, but be really posted up here. So when I transition to this open target here, I can start flowing. I just turn my hips and start flowing backwards right to this point right here is where I want to be. So half speed, let's do this. Transition, now I open my hips up. Eyes are looking. Notice that right there. Okay, as soon as I crank that second shot and I'm happy, my head is snapping to the next target. Because these fault lines are so tight to the wall, I had to do something I hate doing, which is drop the gun a lot. I needed space. Here I had to drop the gun and get around the corner. Yes, I could have stepped out and back in, but I did not want to. I did my reload in this spot. There's a couple dead spots on this stage where you can't be scoring points. So you had to pick one to do a reload. I chose this one. Because after coming out of that port, if I turn my shoulders, right shoulder starts to turn, it puts the gun in a great position for me to sneak in a reload. Come up, I take 2 targets from here. Eyes first, gun second. You can see my foot do that preparatory step. I open the toes up to try to get a little space. Because the fault lines are close to the walls, I had to pull the gun in, extend back out as soon as I could. Again, my foot here is a travel foot. Toes turned towards the target. Nice wide stance in here so I can flow through this position. Three in the middle, 1 off to the side. I'm loading my legs to go on the last target so I can get out of there as quick as I possibly can. I already had it pre-staged in my mind that I needed to be on this side of this port. So I knew to drive the gun all the way to that angle to take this one target, pull the gun in, punch it back out, take the full-size target around the outside on the move. Again, on this port here, you can't really see, I knew I needed to drive the gun to this angle, running literally the left-hand side of that port in order to see that target come up properly. If I went to the front side of this port, I lost part of that target. So let's do this at full speed, talk about a couple things here. When I get stages with a lot of ports, actually ports period, I try to remember when I do my stage plan, this isn't just a port here, okay? where within this square do I need to have my muzzle to see the targets in the presentation I want them. If I put the muzzle up here, I would not see the targets the way I needed to see them at all. So I knew during my walkthrough, when I was shooting moving backwards, I would keep gliding my feet back till I saw this in my peripheral view, and I would snap to that side of the port. Just like that. Almost like you wanted to do it that way. Here, I knew I needed to be on this side of the port. So that's exactly where I was. I wasn't fishing around. Going into this one, I wanted to have a wide stance and favor the middle of the port with my gun, but have my feet set up so I can lean this way to get the rest of the array. When I hit this next one, I knew I needed to be right on that post. So you'll see me drive to that side. Don't just think of a port as a port or a doorway as a doorway. If you know you need to be in a certain spot, use it as a visual reference to help you be there quicker so it's easy, repeatable, on demand, under stress. Boom. Works into a smoother stage plan. Hope some of that helps.